sometimes some Celtic fans they're hard to please. I think, and listen, it might be the fact that, and listen, it happens all the time, doesn't it? Sometimes your Scottish boys seem to get a lot more stick when things are not at a level, and we've seen it at both clubs over the years that it seems to be the Scottish ones that will get criticised when the level of performances is not what they expect. But I think if you go and analyse Greg Taylor over the piece that since he's arrived at Celtic, considering it was from Kilmarnock, and that's no disrespect, but you see Celtic going and spending absolute fortunes elsewhere, and it hasn't. I mean, they might. There's at least two, maybe even three left backs have arrived to try and displace Greg Taylor from it, and he's still going. I think Brendan's obviously touched on that he wants to keep him. Maybe just the last few weeks, I mean, Sloot's performances have dropped. There's no doubt. Greg Taylor's got himself back in. Whether Jeffrey Sloot is one that Brendan Rodgers wants to keep a hold of, I mean, it's well documented that Kieran Tierney will join the club in the summer. So I can understand Greg Taylor's thought process of he's went from being the number one to now going to be two, to signing a new deal. Maybe he's thinking, I'm not going to play a lot of minutes, but when you look at Kieran Tierney, I think it's impossible for him to play more or less every single game next season. And for me, I think Brendan, did he not touch on it at the weekend? The hopeful that they can maybe start talks and try and get something sorted to try and keep him at the club, because for me, as I said, Celtic fans, a lot of them have a go at him, and I don't agree with it, because since he's arrived from Kilmarnock, I think he's done a really, really good job